Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to bring vegetables to a starving Hindu family in Kuala Lumpur. An elderly grandmother works and raises 3 grandchildren and an adopted child. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, a Hindu couple have 7 children that they struggle to feed. Due to the impact of COVID-19, the father in the family has struggled to earn an income, leaving them with little way to support the family. Recently, they were given a chance to apply for Tzu Chi's relief assistance. After being accepted, volunteers immediately brought fresh vegetables to the family to eat.
Okay. Dalam ni tak ada benda apa yang makan lah. Susah nak cerita lah.
Muniyama and her husband have 7 children, and they get by on the husband's part-time work at the construction site.
This is my husband. He had an accident before and broke his leg. Now he is doing construction.
Gunasgaran is the financial pillar of his family of 9, but the pandemic has impacted his work schedule, reducing his salary. His health is also affected due to the growing lymphoma on his left side.
My waist hurts at times due to this growing lymphoma.
When the days look bad, Muniyama continues to uphold a positive attitude when facing challenges in life.
When I'm feeling down, seeing the children play so happily with one another uplifts me. No matter how hard or helpless life seems, it's important to take care of the kids.
These vegetables are for your family. You can cook them for the kids to eat, as vegetables are healthy and delicious.
A vegetable wholesaler Tzu Chi volunteer Tzu Chi presented a box of veggies for the family to help them get enough nutrients.
The eggplant can be stir-fried. My children like eggplants. They like pumpkin even more because it's sweet. And I love tomatoes. I'm so happy to receive so many vegetables. This pot of veggies is definitely helpful to us.
The volunteers knew Muniyama's birthday was near and brought a cake to celebrate together.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for the veggies and cake. I haven't felt this happy in a long time.
Muniyama was approved for Tzu Chi's relief assistance, and volunteers presented her family with the cash card, hoping it will help them get through the difficult days ahead.
The Indonesian government recently eased coronavirus epidemic restrictions. This has allowed many residents to venture outdoors. Some residents are now even allowed to enjoy outdoor exercise. In Jakarta, many are even flocking to outdoor parks. Here's more.
This park in Jakarta is one of people's favorite parks. It has recently reopened to the public, but many pandemic prevention measures are implemented. Every day, the total number of people allowed into the park is limited to 200. People who enter the park must leave their personal and contact information. They are required to wear masks at all times and cannot be too close to other people. In addition, every person can only stay at the park at most for an hour.
Currently, the seating area is still closed, so people cannot sit here. The sculpture garden and children's play area is not open. If people want to take photos while they walk, they must follow the direction.
We have measured our temperature and wash our hands. It is quite clean. There are not that many people here, so it is quite safe.
Jakarta Park Management Bureau has dispatched 20 people to work on shifts in the park. This way, residents can exercise outdoors under safe circumstances. Having stayed home for nearly 6 months, many people are eager to travel. The government reminds the public that outdoor sceneries are the safest places. In Kara Regency of North Sumatra, people have come to an agricultural recreation. Tourists are required to wear masks, measure temperatures, and wash their hands.
Every tourist must follow the farm's regulations. They should bring hand sanitizers. They don't need to line up outside. To ensure their safety, they should keep a distance from other people. One should not go out if he is sick. This is a way to help himself and other people.
Karena itu kita akan betul-betul enforce.
After the new lifestyle is implemented, my family and I dare to go out. During the movement restriction period, we stay home.
The government reminds the public that everyone must make sure they're healthy before going out. This is a way to protect oneself as well as the public.
In the Philippines, due to the pandemic, schools have required students to learn online. At the moment, public schools are not scheduled to open until October. As staff prepare for online learning, they face many challenges. Let's take a look.
Xavier School has opened for more than a month, but the campus is still empty. It is because students are now learning at home.
When we came back to work in early May, that was the focus of our work. The curriculum had to be reworked, especially in the primary school. In fact, we don't have individual subject areas. We have a literacy block and a numeracy block. That was a major overhaul.
Internet-based learning has advantages as well as shortcomings.
Sometimes there's internet connection, sometimes disconnect in Zoom. And since it's a rainy season, it's kind of we have poor connection.
They are able to do advanced research while doing class online, and compared to face-to-face interaction, they could interact with the teachers. They are able to do the extra mile also.
Different from private schools, public schools open in October. As the school teachers prepare materials for online learning, they face many challenges.
Most of them chose the modular printed modality because the lack of gadgets and Wi-Fi connection. Not all teachers are computer literate, especially teachers who are more senior in age. However, teachers are on the process of learning and improving our ICT skills.
The pandemic has changed the ecosystem of education. School staff now are discovering ways to safeguard the health of students while ensuring they learn properly.
In Sierra Leone, Tzu Chi worked with Caritas International to host important food distributions to impoverished people. A total of 4,460 kilograms of multigrain powder were distributed in August. The buckets which hold the grains can even be turned into hand washing stations to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Here's more.
Aid from Taiwan continues to spread around the globe. The latest stop is Sierra Leone. And this time, it's not only just supplies of nutritional multigrain powder, but the container the grains are housed in can be used to hold water and be turned into a washing station.
Done in Taiwan beautifully, so you can see 7 steps of hand washing, how to stop the spread of COVID. Okay?
Yeah.
And then they put our beautiful Sierra Leone flag, right?
As it's raining season in the country, this food assistance has arrived just in time.
The multigrain powder is here just in time because it's the raining season, and now the kids can eat that in bread. We only had bread for them before.
And appreciate the weight of the bread. We are so excited for this wonderful donation, and even today we are going to eat this food. I love you.
Besides the orphanage, a home for the disabled is also receiving Tzu Chi's assistance. They are putting the 4 buckets to good use.
The idea is one of the vermica buckets will be placed right at the entrance of the camp, and then one at the center for the residents to be using, and then one at any exit point, so that they can be using at this time of the pandemic. They will keep their hands clean.
Each of the 30 bags holds 10 kilos of the multigrain powder, which is enough to feed over 400 people. Some recipients remembered Tzu Chi from last year and is especially thankful for the assistance again.
We are very thankful you have brought more help to us this year. Last year you were here too. Seeing you guys come back this year makes us very happy.
More and more fun. I want to tell you plenty thank you.
I want to give them all the thanks. I hope God bless you and protects you.
Long life and well.
Holding up homemade signs of thanks, these recipients can enjoy some food while also helping to stop the spread of COVID thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance.
A member of the Puyuma tribe, Hong Yulan, adopted her friend's grandson 13 years ago because she passed away. She also cares for 3 grandchildren of her own. During the day, she works odd jobs to support the family. Despite the difficulty of her life, she believes these hardships have taught her that in fact it is these children which make her life rich in spirit.
早上他要采茶都要6点就出发了，做到下午5点啊。
65-year-old Hong Yulan earns a living by doing odd jobs.
很喘，有一点气喘了。
While she is no longer young, she still has to bend over and squat for a long time when working, as her family depends upon the money she earns.
结婚了，结婚又没有车。
After getting married, having children, and divorcing, they say it is not convenient to work with children.
不好，要工作不方便了。
She has to do temporary work. Otherwise, how else can she pay the electricity and water bills? Her children who work elsewhere rarely send her money.
In this 30-year-old sheet metal house lives a family where the grandmother has to raise 4 grandchildren who rely upon her for food when she gets off work.
这是拿一个小碗去。
Among them is little helper Chen Shanzi, who was a child adopted by this grandmother 11 years ago.
阿嬷那时候生病了，刚刚就拜托我说这个孩子呢。
His grandmother was sick and asked me to care for this child. She couldn't say it with words, but I told her not to worry, that I would take care of this child.
带的，我会跟你好好带，你就安心的走。
The promises made to her friend led this grandma to make a pledge, no matter how hard it was.
要下去。弟弟啊，你是干什么？ 对呀，都是我自己。
It's all up to me. Now lately, after they observing me, they will do their share to help, whether it is to wash the younger sister or fry an egg.
After Shanzi's biological mother was released from prison, she was sent to the orphanage school, but Grandma was quite sad.
我睡不着啊，只想他啊。
I couldn't sleep and kept thinking about him, so I wanted to bring him back. I thought that it's okay to have one more kid. I just treat him as my own grandson.
我就说把他当做我自己的孙子这样子。
The older children learn how to share some household chores to help the grandmother.
Grandma is busy cooking and also giving a little girl a bath, so I thought that I should help out with the housework.
帮阿嬷做家事。那个，用面纸这样装。
要赚钱养他。为什么？因为他很辛苦。
If you see your children grow up healthy and independent, this is good.
Grandma's desires are very small. She gives her children love and is rich in spirit despite hardships, as she has a very caring heart. Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers have been supporting impoverished students in nearby mountainous areas. This assistance has helped the students pursue a better education. Before school starts, volunteers visit the impoverished students to better understand their situation and give them encouragement for the upcoming school year.
As school is about to start, Beijing City volunteers who are concerned about impoverished students in Yi County have traveled to the mountains to visit them. Grandma Yang, who's undergoing chemotherapy, greets the volunteers. Her son has gone out to work, and her daughter-in-law has left the family 4 years ago, leaving Yang Zixuan behind. Since Grandma Yang's medical fees are high, the family has gotten into debts.
It's fine. Don't cry, Grandpa. It's all right. Everything will pass. Things will get better. The difficulties are temporary.
As the family faces financial difficulties, Yang Zixuan thought about quitting school.
The family's difficulties are temporary. You are the hope of the family. You must go to school.
It is difficult to make money in Yi County. In addition, the pandemic has impacted many families. Cai Haiqing's father is hospitalized due to cancer. The family was not able to sell their harvest for the past year.
How much can this sell for? How much does your family make from selling this every year? Less than $1,300. So this year, $1,300 is gone. This year, no one is collecting the harvest. Because in December, during the selling season, the pandemic broke out.
City volunteers have been visiting the students for years. Besides helping impoverished students pursue an education, they also hope to provide a solid shoulder for students to rely on.
We do not only provide spiritual support, we also want them to know there is a broad world outside the mountains and villages. We give them confidence and courage, so they will continue to study hard.
Some of the students Tzu Chi has helped have gone to college. Some of them have started working. They will always remember Tzu Chi.
Volunteers' companionship has allowed the students in the mountains to have the courage to pursue their dreams.
In the aftermath of a tornado disaster in 2016, Tzu Chi Foundation built a DaAi village in Kongdang, China. Since then, Tzu Chi volunteers have been going to the village to promote environmental protection. This summer, volunteers held a summer camp for local children, hoping to pass on the spirit of Confucianism. Let's take a look.
In the aftermath of 2016 tornado disaster, Tzu Chi has built Kongdang DaAi village for the descendants of Confucius. However, the new generation seems to know little about Confucius.
孔子是谁？孔子是一位很大的什么人？孔子不知道。
这边文化方面都呈现断层的状态，所以急需我们。
There is a gap when it comes to passing on culture, so it is urgent to revive the culture. This is the main goal of the summer camp. We hope that humanitarian culture will be passed on in Kongdang village.
人文在孔荡村得到延续。
To pass on the outstanding spirit of Confucianism, local volunteers have worked with Tzu Chi to hold a 3-day humanitarian summer camp. They hope to pass on the spirit of frugality and diligence.
Filial piety, hard work, endurance, and propriety are the 4 precious gifts we want to give to the summer camp participants. Through our daily habits, since as the Tzu Chi sisters' demonstration of proper way to eat, we hope the children will learn about propriety.
The volunteers have incorporated exploration of the nature and environmental concepts into the courses. They hope the children will learn to cherish the environment.
The children might not understand it since they did not participate. I think it is good for them to learn about Confucius' worshipping ceremony.
The volunteers have planted seeds of kindness in these young minds, hoping that after they grow up, they'll pass on the spirit of Confucianism.
Tzu Chi volunteers based in Harbin City, China, promote eco-friendliness by using catchy phrases and slogans to allow residents to have a better understanding of different recycling categories. They have also encouraged children in the community to team up, helping recycling develop deeper roots in the community.
It's certainly hard to memorize the categories for recycling. Therefore, participants and volunteers call it the phrases to strengthen memorization. Pop quizzes on the subject become easy to locals. Tzu Chi volunteers in Harbin walked into local communities, bringing the idea of loving Earth to people.
We're actually showing love while doing recycling. We sort these items into categories easily, therefore it becomes easier to recycle and avoids the fate of becoming trash.
While the adults bend and sit down to clean their community, the children teamed up to form a recycling ambassador team, walking around the community with promotional cards.
I have also told my children, every one of us has to remember the slogans. When they came back and I talked to them, the children actually memorized the words from the promotional cards and told me how to do so when we get home.
Through the activity, I discovered I only knew the tip of the iceberg. This is not enough. There's more detail to learn about recycling. Next time when I have the chance, I'll bring my children here again.
The ideas of eco-friendliness have made an impact to participants. From recycling as an individual to bring others into recycling, it's our job to save the earth.
A recycling station in Geelong's Jingsa Hall remains open no matter the weather or day. Recycling volunteers clock in every day, contributing to the environment. The recycling station's representative, Lai Albo, is fully committed to recycling. She told us that the earth is sick. We shouldn't throw away plastic bags since this will only worsen global warming.
Don't throw away that plastic bag, I'll wash it. Why do we throw it away? I'll wash it myself because we wouldn't have to burn it.
Dealing with recyclables with a swift hand and knowing the plastics well, recycling station representative Lai Abao does not allow a tiny mistake which causes harm to the environment. Even under high heat, she continues her work.
I follow Master Zheng Yan's teachings and I incorporate these teachings into my daily life. We have to first receive Dharma teachings and then we can help ourselves. After that, we may help others.
A child suffering from Tourette's syndrome, Ke Xuanjie, is a helper to Lai Abao. As he is skilled in categorizing recyclables, he found a second home here at the recycling station.
Aunt Abao really takes care of me and teaches me a lot about Master Cheng Yan's sayings. She also taught me rules of the recycling station. When I'm wrong, she reminds me.
Although the recyclables organized to go is enormous, and it relies on drivers driving by to pick up, whenever there is a need to carry, Xie Yunran, without saying a word, sets off to collect more.
My sister goes to Tzu Chi every day. I'm touched by that. Once I saw these old recycling bodhisattvas and witnessed their good hearts, whenever I do recycling, I feel happier.
Lai Ayu's small motorcycle is also a source of recyclables for this recycling station.
This is third year. I bring it here since I have collected this already.
At the high age of 80 years old, Tzu Chi volunteer Lai Ayu has commitment to do recycling. As long as she can move, she will continue to do recycling.
If we pick these bottles up, we can save people. This is for sentient beings and the earth. This is not for myself.
3 generations, young, mid-aged, and old people, have come together to contribute to the environment and find a second home at this recycling station.
The Tzu Chi Foundation and Hualien County government invited youth theater to perform Meeting with Bodhisattva to express gratitude to heroes during the coronavirus epidemic. We leave you with these images. Goodbye.